Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we have Jarman Marougi joining us. Thank you so much for being on my podcast today.
Hello, Martiana. How are you doing? Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, I'm great. We just want to spotlight you and talk about your business and how wonderful you are. For any potential sellers or buyers out there, definitely wanting to make sure that you have resources to the top agents. So yeah, let's jump right in. So what is your favorite part about being a real estate agent?
My favorite part is, well, as far as like when I'm actually working with buyer, I love when the day comes when I give them the keys because I know that's a process to get there. But I think what I like is educating. I enjoy educating my sellers and buyers on the process and taking the guesswork out and setting the expectation. I really do enjoy that part. And I feel like the more the sellers or buyers are educated, the easier the process is because it is a very complex process. It takes out the guesswork and some of the stress because it can also be a stressful process.
No, totally. What have you learned over the years that makes you an exceptional agent?
I worked for four different high-tech real estate brokerages before I decided to do my own thing, just being independent. I learned a little bit from each company and from a lot of agents out there that I have worked with. I think the best thing is setting the seller or buyer's expectation, educating them. Again, this is something that I go over and over because I feel like learning throughout the years from my own mistakes of what works and doesn't work. But I have learned that the more educated the buyer is, especially in today's market when it's so complicated, it's so competitive, it's so stressful, the more knowledge they have, the more educated they have, the easier it is for them to go through the process.
I 100% agree, and then at least they know what they're
Yeah.
signing up for, and they're not in for any surprises down the road,
Yeah.
which is good, yeah. So what areas do you specialize in?
I cover from San Francisco all the way to Gilroy and
Oh,
going
wow.
all the way to Walnut Creek. So I've done transactions all over,
Mhm,
but I've lived in San Jose for 30 years. So I focus on San Jose, Silicon Valley, Cupertino, Los Gatos, Fremont, Milpitas, all of that area, anything in between Peninsula.
mhm. Okay, perfect, perfect. And then what can a potential buyer or seller expect from you?
I think expectation is really important as far as like, I think in today's world and everything, being honest and genuine. And even if, let's say, I make a mistake, I want to be honest about it because I think setting the expectation of sometimes, making sure we do everything that we're asked to do from a seller or a buyer's standpoint.
Mhm.
Um, I want them to understand that, if I say something, then that will happen. I do stand by my word, and loyalty and honesty and transparency. Those are really important. Market knowledge is extremely important. I expect them to know that I know it because that's really important as far as like making decisions on timeline, prices, and everything.
I agree, I agree, yes, and I love that you said transparency because I think, sometimes in this business, which I'm sure you've faced and so have I as a lender, is that being honest about what the situation is and maybe it's not the right time to buy or maybe it's not
Right.
the right time to sell. And for, buyers and sellers out there, find yourself a team that is going to be honest with you and going to support you through your journey because, we do this all the time, right? So, we've
Yeah.
come up with creative solutions and things like that, but if it's just not the right time, sometimes it really just isn't the right time. And
Right.
having someone that can tell you that and either protect your investment on the seller's side or help you on the buyer side, where it's like, okay, let's do X, Y, and Z to get you ready. So that you have a better advantage and
Yeah.
a better edge on the competition. Like that's super important. So that's awesome that you really that's one of your pillars. Um, so what do you think, like, what are you seeing, in the market right now? Like, it's crazy. We've heard a lot of rumblings from the Fed,
Yeah.
this, from that, but, like, you're in it day in, day out. So what are you seeing?
It's definitely like just when you think it's today is crazy, tomorrow is like even more crazy. So this market is definitely for the strong. Like you, in order to survive. I was with coaching last year with Tom Ferry, and they said
Mm, mhm.
it's basically a Game of Thrones for real estate.
I
That's what they
love
called it.
that.
So you have to somehow survive if you're good.
Yeah.
I honestly think the prices are just going to continue going higher, and
Mhm.
it's just because we just don't have inventory. There's not enough homes. So unless there's like a major disaster, I don't see things changing. A lot of time I come across people that they think that the prices will drop and they want to wait. And I say, I don't see that happening because a lot of people have their low interest rates that they don't want to go and switch that to like 7%. So they're holding on to their homes, even if they're not planning on selling it, they're renting them.
Yeah.
So it's just our inventory is extremely low. So the prices will continue going up unless we have more homes built, which that's pretty tough.
Right.
Um, it's just going to be a strong market. Yeah. As far as like for the sellers, for the buyers, it's tough. But
Mhm.
my suggestion to buyers is if you're thinking about buying, don't wait because you will regret it a year, 2 years down the line. And sometimes buyers are just frustrated because they don't find the right home. And and I say just get your foot in, get your equity, and then later you can always sell it, in the right timing.
Absolutely. I echo that 100%.
Yeah,
Like, get out there, get pre-approved, see what's out there. You don't want to get to a point where you find a house that you absolutely love and you haven't done like the pre-approval or any of that
exactly.
those other steps, and then somebody comes and swipes it,
Yeah,
because there's not a ton out here, and you might find something that you love. And so don't be discouraged by the amount of time it takes. It took me 8 to 9 months to find my house.
yeah,
And sometimes that's kind of just the reality, but I'm here and I love it. And looking back, I'm like, I wouldn't have done it any other way. So
yeah,
don't get discouraged. There's definitely something out there for you. That is awesome to hear.
yeah.
And then I know we can't predict the future, but you said you're thinking that prices just continue to rise. So, anyone looking to buy, like, now's the time if you can afford it. That's some instant equity for you. So,
Exactly. And sometimes even if, let's say, they can't afford, for instance, a property that they love, I always suggest just get your foot into a property. At least, you get a, tax reduction, and
Mhm.
you can fix the house to how you want it. There's so many benefits to owning your own property. And as far as the sellers go, if it's the right timing to sell, they definitely should take advantage of the market because, I mean, obviously the prices will go higher and they will get more money for their home in the long run, but it depends on what they're trying to achieve as far as why are they selling.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. So awesome. Is there anything else you would like your buyers or sellers to know?
Well, for the sellers, I think also sometimes when it comes to sellers, they think that, they want higher prices because, they're not realistic with price. My concern is always when I see a seller that priced their home wrong, like if it's too high and it's sitting on the market, that goes against them.
Mhm.
Pricing is extremely important. Preparing the property, for instance, what needs to be updated before going on the market, having a budget. It's just those are all part of the when you have, like for me as a consultation, when I sit and talk to a seller, how do I prepare them so that way they can sell their home for top dollars. As far as the buyers, again, it's education, being prepared, because I come across a lot of buyers when they miss that one house that they loved, and then later they say they see like maybe 5,000 homes afterwards, and they're still in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, that one house. So, and I tell them now when I have consultation with buyers up front from the beginning, I tell them, if you're prepared, I don't want you to be one of those buyers where regrets losing that house.
Mhm.
Unless, you lose to a competition. You
Yeah.
can't do anything about that. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so true, so true. And the most important question, how do we get in touch with you?
Well, my phone number is the best way to call me. Texting, sometimes if I don't answer it, usually it's best to text me and then I'll call back right away. Emails, but I guess phone, that would be the best way.
Perfect. And then what is your phone number? And we're gonna put it below on the screen for everybody.
My phone number is 408-242-2970. And my website is jarmanbayarea.com.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast today. It was very enlightening to talk to you. I think
Thank you.
you
Thank you
have
for inviting
so
me.
of course, you have so much knowledge. And it's clear to see why you're one of the top tier agents. Like it's awesome. Transparency and honesty is huge for me. And so that is amazing that that's what you're
Yeah,
bringing to your clients. And so not every now, there's some sharks out there, so it's always great to find a real estate agent that you can trust, and that
right.
will really guide you through the process, and so that's amazing.
Yeah, of course. It's really important. I think I've seen some scary stuff in my industry and it's unfortunate, but I think if you're honest and transparent and stay true, um, you can last in every market. And that's what people want anyways when they're investing. It's a huge investment.
Yeah, totally. No, I completely agree. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. It
Thank
was a
you.
pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was very nice to talk to you as well. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.